Hey all, it's Dr. Joni. I want to talk torticollis and TMR. I am so incredibly passionate about this topic because torticollis used to be my most frustrating treatment to do because the progression was unpredictable. It took a long time. The changes were frustrating. And guess what? They're not anymore. They haven't been for years. And the reason is TMR using a different approach to torticollis. And unfortunately, what we find is babies who don't kind of have this whole body approach, we're often seeing them later on for coordination issues, for sensory issues, for all other kind of secondary issues that are happening because the whole body wasn't addressed. So what do I mean by that? So torticollis, what is it? So torticollis traditionally was defined as the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So I know that's a big mouthful, but it's the muscle that starts here and connects down the side of the neck. The action of it is it tilts one way and turns the opposite way. So our babies, we're here and we're here, or we're here and we're here. That can then lead to flat spots, and then we also have head shape issues because the head is always on one direction, and baby skulls are super malleable. So if they're stuck in that spot, they're going to get flat there. If they're not turning their head in both directions, they're not molding that head to be nice and round. So that's where torticollis and plagiocephaly, sometimes it's the other side of the same coin. So traditionally, like I said, it's one muscle. But what we are finding is that if you look at the body as a whole, if you look at all of the tightness and tension that's in the body as a whole, whether it's coming from tightness in the mouth, whether it's from a tongue tie issue, or there's tightness from the body, from the pelvis, just from being squished on up for 9 months, that will really impact what these teeny tiny little neck muscles that these little babies are just starting to activate, what these little muscles can do. And what we find is that these little muscles are being bullied by these much stronger muscles lower in the body. So if the pelvis is tilted to one side, those large muscles are pulling these little tiny muscles that are trying to turn on and pulling them down. Or if they're twisted, the body will also twist with it. And then the baby's trying to look up, so they're going to look the other way. So we look at the body as a whole versus just looking at these teeny tiny muscles. And if we can balance out the foundation, the much larger muscles in the body, and the mouth, addressing that if there's any concerns there as well, getting everything elongated and balanced out, then guess what happens to the head? The head does what it's supposed to do. Our reflexes align our heads. Our eyes want to be level and upright. We are made that way. Our nervous system, our brain wants our head upright and our eyes aligned. So if the body is all balanced out, the head is going to do what the head is supposed to do without months and months and months of stretching, of holding a child in another position, and then being told, oh, you did your stretching, but now you have to do strengthening. When things are aligned, things turn on automatically. In our typical children with torticollis that have intact neurological systems, they don't have other factors feeding into it. So we turn on, stack all that alignment, let our reflexes do what our reflexes are built to do, and our kids' heads lined up, and they do it really, really quickly. So our typical plan of care for seeing a child with torticollis, for if they're birth to 3 months. If they're birth to 2 months, we may only see them for a few visits. If they are 3-4 months, we will likely see them for about 6 visits, 6 to 8 visits, 6 to 10 generally at the most. There are some babies that have more complex patterns, and those complex patterns in the body, Even though the head may look the same as another baby with a more simple pattern, the less common and more complex patterns can take a longer time. But our more simple patterns that is more common with how babies are positioned for 9 months, squished up in utero for all that time, those let go right away. So for our babies, let's say 4 months to 6 months, we're typically only seeing them for a few months of treatment. Whereas if you look at the research where the kids are only being stretched on the neck, these babies are in therapy for 6 months to a year. So we're seeing them for a fraction of that time, seeing immediate change. The parents tell us they're seeing immediate change in sleep, in feeding, as well as the baby's head position and also their gross motor skills. So a full body approach, I've been doing it for 10 years. All of our staff are doing it as well. And it changes things quickly, more easily. I call it a tear-free, cuddle-friendly approach because we're asking our moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and caregivers to literally cuddle their baby in certain positions and positions of comfort. So I could stretch you and I could tell you this is good for you. So relax. And you're going to try. You're going to take a deep breath. You're going to try to relax. You're going to try to let me. Let's say I'm stretching your hamstrings. You're going to really try to let me. Now try to explain that to a baby. Baby, you should relax. This is good for you. That doesn't work. But if you can treat a baby in a position of comfort that feels good, they're going to relax. They're going to relax immediately. They're going to melt more and more into it. And there you got success like that. So our approach is cuddle friendly. You're going to be cuddling in positions that feel good for baby. And guess what? That's going to be a lot less stressful for you because baby's relaxed, you're relaxed. It is quicker. So we're talking resolving things quickly. You're going to see changes within the first week. And 3, we're empowering you. You're not relying on the therapist or a chiropractor or an osteopath or another practitioner to do their highly skilled care. We're going to teach you, the parent, how to do it every day. So progress keeps happening. Progress is building in between because you're making the changes at home. So that is a bit of an overview of how our therapists at Kid PT and other practitioners that use TMR, how we approach Torticollis, and how it has been a game changer for our babies, where things are going quickly, where the frustration of stubborn tilts is gone, and where our parents are going through it and having this experience, which is a really nerve-wracking experience. You're worried about your baby's health. You weren't expecting this, going through it in a much less stressful way. And that's all we want for our parents, less stress. And if we can help that happen, we are there. Less stress for everyone, yay. So that is our overview on Torticollis and TMR and Kid PT. And we are passionate about spreading the word. You don't need to do 6 months of stretching. You need to get to the core of the problem, address that, address it in a way that's comfortable for baby and for you. And we can make this problem resolve quicker and improve the head shape in addition. And it's all connected, and setting baby up, especially setting them up so it doesn't even have to impact their gross motor milestones. Any questions, reach out to us. Come in for a screening. Come in to learn a little bit about how it's different. If you've been in traditional PT doing neck stretching for months and you're curious, what is this lady talking about? Is she crazy? Come in, have a screening. We'll show you with you and your baby of the other options so that you can find what's best for your baby, for your family, and then go from there.